Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, a peak performance coach and business strategist dedicated to helping you see what's possible within you, the blind spots that are holding you back, and the solutions to ensure success and fulfillment without the hustle. I use my secret sauce of metaphysics, brain science, and scripture to work with God to manifest your ideal life and business. If you're ready to create massive forward momentum in your business and bust through the blocks that drag you down, join me on the Spiral Up journey and create the clarity, confidence, and consistency to become the CEO that lives your life by design. It's time to create the sustainable impact, income, and time freedom you desire faster. Now is the time to spiral up. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, and boy, am I excited for today's episode. Not only are we celebrating episode 100 inside of the Spiral Up podcast series. Oh my gosh, can you believe that we've had this series going for almost 2 years now? I'm so sticking excited for that, but even more excited for the guests that I get to introduce you to very, very briefly. So cannot wait to introduce you to some people in my life that are literally like the most important people to me, and I can't wait for the special surprise. But before we get into that, I wanted to say that this episode is dedicated to those fellow mamas out there who struggle to spend time and money on yourself. You see, the inspiration for this episode has really come from the conversations that I've been having with the women who have expressed interest in going to Greece with me for my Becoming Experience retreat. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing to have these women open up to me, and some of them have said yes. Some of them are like, "Oh, I'm still thinking about it." But the theme behind all of these conversations have been the same, that I do not feel worthy of spending the time on myself without my family. I do not feel worthy to spend the money on myself instead of my family. I feel guilty for doing something for myself. And I just got to say that, man, did that hit home, because I literally felt the same exact way back in 2016 when I first started my online business that I started with the skincare business. That's really what sparked that whole journey, to be perfectly honest with you. You see, when I started washing my face with this big girl skincare, I started to give myself permission to spend the time and the money on myself. You see, before that happened, and I'm going to give you kind of some backstory because I want you to understand like how far I've come. So in 2016, when I was, living my dream life, I was a nurse anesthetist. I was a professor for the Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia program at Mayo Clinic. Like, I was living my dream life. The boy, the girl, high school sweetheart, for high school sweetheart for the husband. We built our dream home. Like, I was doing all the things that I felt like I needed to do in my life. But God knew more. He knew better. He knew that there was something missing in my life even before I could. And it started with me looking in the mirror one day, and I noticed that my skin looked really saggy and wrinkly, and it made me look tired. It made me look older than I should for a 35-year-old woman. And I was like, okay, hell no, like I can't let this happen. And I remember reaching out to my friend Dawn. I had seen her post some things on social media that she had been using. Her skin looked amazing, and I reached out, but you guys, I was so scared. I was scared to invest in myself. You see, up to that point, whatever shampoo happened to fall on my face in the shower was good enough for me, because I didn't think that I was important enough to take our family's budget and invest it in myself and on my face. Nor did I want to waste the time, the 2 minutes in the morning, the 2 minutes at night, to actually take care of myself. I was running 1,000 miles an hour, and I didn't feel like I could set aside that time just for me. And when she and I chatted, I decided to give it a try. What was so funny about it, though, is that I was determined to prove to them that it didn't work. And so I was going to take advantage of that 60-day money back guarantee. And I was going to prove to them that me washing my face twice a day with this stuff for 60 days was not working, and I could, get my money back. Funny thing is, the joke was on me because my skin actually changed. And partly probably because the products were amazing, but partly because I was finally washing my face after 35 years, right? But something more important sparked a change in me. And it wasn't just that my skin started to change. It wasn't just that my skin made me feel more confident on the outside. It was that me deciding that a $150 box of skincare was something that I was worth spending money on myself. It was me deciding that that 2 minutes every morning and every evening were for me, and that I was worth that. And I feel like that shift in my own worthiness, that shift in how I started to perceive myself, was what made me all of a sudden stand up taller. It's what made me start to look people in the eye a little bit more. And I think that when I watched my journey on this, I wanted the biggest discount because I was still struggling with that worthiness. And that meant I would be willing to share it with people in order to get the discount. And here I was, super shy, awkward introvert who didn't share anything on social media other than the occasionally, Toby Mac quote that my friends posted on social media, or my edited pictures of my kids because I was a photographer at the time. But I started to put myself out there. I started to be vulnerable and authentic on social media. I started to be willing to be seen and judged and put myself into the direct line of rejection. And all of that started with me starting to prove to myself that I was worth the time and the money on myself. Now, you see, you guys, I never know what's going to happen when somebody comes on one of my retreats. I literally get a front row seat to what God is doing. But I got to tell you that so often it's these little tiny subtleties, this little tiny thing where he knows that there's a lesson that needs to be learned. And it doesn't even come with my curriculum. It comes with the experience of going, the experience of deciding. And all of a sudden things start to shift. And I think back on my life and the little breadcrumb that God gave me of the skincare business and me seeing that I needed something and then saying yes to the business because I was cheap, right? And then slowly starting to prove my worth to myself literally changed my life. Because before that, I thought that I was, doing all the things that I ever wanted. But the truth be told is I was a person that was tearing into the daycare center at the last very minute. I was the one who didn't get a chance to see my kids as much as I wanted. I was pining to spend the summers with my husband as a teacher and my two kids at our pool, but nope, I had to go to work. And now, because of that tiny little breadcrumb of me saying yes and having that transformation of my own worthiness, and then starting my online business and starting to see what I could do with that, that business transformed me into the entrepreneur that I am today. Even though I'm not doing that anymore, I am the person I am today because of it. And I am the person, the confident person that I am because I started to prove my worth to myself. So it doesn't matter if it's a $150 box of skincare or if it's thousands of dollars going on across the country or across the world with me and in my retreat. If God is pushing us toward these tiny little breadcrumbs that are going to give us the transformation, it's amazing what he can do with that. Now, I promised you guys that I was going to let you in on some really great interview questions that I have for some really important people in my life. So I am going to let you guys in from backstage. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So here I am going to interview my son, Koren, who is 16, and my daughter, Leighton, who is 12. We tried doing this the other day and the audio didn't pick up. So we have to be in different rooms in order to make this happen. But you guys, I wanted you to be here because I wanted people to be able to hear what it is like on the other side of a mom who is choosing to spend the time and money on myself in order to be a better mom and a better person for you. And so I'm just really glad that you guys are here and I want you to know how much I love you. And I'm so glad that I get to celebrate this 100th episode with you being here. So thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So you've heard me talk, if you've been paying attention, you've heard me talk about how sometimes moms can feel really guilty. We're taught, especially people like myself who grew up in the church, we're taught that we should, not spend time on ourselves, that we should just be giving of everybody and of service to everybody else. Or we're taught that we should just give all of our money to everybody else and that we should be the ones that take care of ours last. But you guys have seen me doing things that really help to fill my cup first. And you guys probably don't remember me before I started that skincare business. Koren, you were, I think you were 7. And Leighton, I think you were 3 years old when I started that. So you guys don't remember that part of me. But
Oh.
now you see me doing all kinds of things, right? You see me doing the podcast, you see me doing things on stages, you see me doing all kinds of this business stuff. And I'm curious to know from your perspective, when I'm out there doing things like speaking on stages or traveling, doing all this stuff, I'm curious, do you guys ever feel like I am not there for you because I do that stuff?
No, not at all. Because when you do come home, we do spend a lot of time together. So, it doesn't really like when you leave. I mean, when you come back, it all makes up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have never felt like you get the shaft, or that I put you second, or that you kind of get my leftovers. That you know that even though I'm busy, I can be busy and I can be a loving, present mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys know that I give you my attention. Like when I'm home, I want you to know that like you're the most important thing to me, and probably too much, right?
Oh,
And so I'm just curious, you guys have been watching me, and you've been watching me take kind of, some risks, and you've been watching me kind of do things that are outside of my comfort zone. I'm curious, when you watch me as your mom, what kind of things are you learning by watching?
um, I mean, really, just like go, like you said, go out of your comfort zone, and you'll do pretty good stuff. You know, when you left Mayo to do the Worthington job, like you weren't too sure about it, and in the end, it turned out to
Hmm.
be a really great thing.
Yeah. How about you, Leighton?
Like I've learned about like I guess how to give it your all when you're doing something, and not just to like do it, but like just to get it done. Like you do it and then you do more than what was expected.
Hmm. And when you think about, money, like obviously your dad and I, we bought this other investment, property as an Airbnb. So we've been spending lots of time and resources on that. And so we've had to say no to some things this summer. So it's been kind of a different summer. But when you think about the things that I've spent money on for myself, like I'm going on this retreat, or I've done, we've gotten this new property. Do you guys ever feel like you don't get what you need?
Never, no,
No.
no. No, you always like make sure to give us what we need. Even today, you bought me a new toothbrush because I needed it, and you bought me a bunch of stuff like school supplies. I mean, it's been good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have to say no. Like sometimes there's a difference between need and want, but you guys have never gone without. Yeah. And so, one of the things that I like to tell my moms that are listening right now, you guys, is that there's so much to be said about how we get to be before we do. And when I think about this, like oftentimes we expect ourselves to constantly be pouring into others. And you guys, I want you to listen to this too, because this is going to be important for you to recognize this as you grow and as you watch me and modeling this for you. But so many of us, I have my water bottle sitting here. If I were to constantly pour out to everybody all the time, eventually this is going to get empty, right? And if I have to be real, oftentimes when we do things for other people, whether we realize it or not, we're doing it because we want love back. We want appreciation back. We want some acceptance back. And so we are doing things of service, expecting something to come back to us. But I'm going to ask you guys, if I'm pouring this over, is it easy to put something back into it like that?
No.
No, it's not, right? So as I drip my water jug over, it's very hard for us to put things back into it. And eventually it's going to get dry. But when I think about this, if I were to allow my water bottle to stay nice and straight, and I just pour into it constantly and allow for anything that is serving to be overflowing from it, do you see how it's never disconnected from source? It's never disconnected from God. It's never disconnected from the water that fills it. And so when I get to stand tall, when I get to be a vase instead of a pitcher, I get to allow myself to be filled with the Spirit, filled with source, filled with everything that I need, so that that is what I serve other people. And when I do that, they get the best of me versus what's left in my half empty pitcher. And I know that I'm not needing anything from anybody else. I'm serving because I love to serve. I'm serving because I'm already met all of my needs, because Source and God has given me everything I've needed. And so when you start to think about that, when you start to think about how when I get to serve from a place of wholeness and love, and I get to allow that to be what I give the people around me that I care about, it's such a higher level of that. And you guys have seen me this summer, especially the last couple of weeks as we've been wrapping up this new Airbnb. It's been busy, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys have seen me probably more stressed than I've been in a long time. So tell me, when you watch me and I've gotten enough rest, I've been able to do my morning routine, I've been able to pour into myself. Tell me about the mom that I am versus when I'm the mom that's like super stressed out. Like tell me how you experience me differently.
Um, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. Sometimes, you're just like more willing to do stuff with us. You're a little more to like hear us out. You're not always worried about rushing something.
Mhm.
And you're just like overall just a little more balanced, you could tell.
Yeah.
And then, other times maybe you're a little rushed or you're a little stressed and you want us to pick it up a little bit, which is, it's understandable. You're a little stressed, but yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. How about you, Leighton?
I guess like you can tell like you just act completely different and stuff. And like you just on the days that you feel like really stressed, you don't like necessarily want to do as much as you would if you weren't stressed and stuff. Because
Mm-hmm.
like at night, if we want to play like a game as a family, you would rather go to bed or something like that instead
Yeah.
of like hang out more.
Yeah. So when I'm rested, when I don't have a lot of stress going on, I am more present with you guys. I have more energy for you. You probably feel it, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so you know that I love you all the time, but you can tell a difference when I'm kind of at my empty versus when I'm full, right?
Yeah,
And so that's one of the things that I think that as a mom, whether it be, taking the time to wash our faces or whether it be to take the time just to establish a morning routine so that we can have our time to pray, or maybe it's going on this beautiful, life-changing retreat in Greece. It doesn't matter what that is, but when we recognize that when we take the time to fill our own cups, when we take the time to, I hate this analogy, but it's so stinking good, I can't help it, but put our own oxygen masks on first, when we can allow ourselves to take care of ourselves, our whole mind, body, and spirit, the people that we care about the most get to benefit from that. But when I'm constantly stressing out and doing everything for everybody else and I don't take any time for me, you guys actually notice that even
yeah,
more than we realize as moms, right?
Yeah.
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 So the things that you've watched me do in, all of the things, it sounds like you guys have been really amazing, really independent kids. And it sounds like I haven't messed you up. So that's good. But that's been the cool thing, is that I feel like with me doing what I do, it's really fun to watch you blossom into really great independent kids. Like you have really good head on your shoulders, you know how to figure things out, you know when to ask for help. Um, so I feel like as busy as I am and the things that I've done, I've gotten to model for you what it's like to get stuff done, and I've gotten to model for you what it's like to figure things out. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what's your perspective on that?
Um, I mean, obviously, like you've modeled us to be independent, but also like follow people, the right crowd.
Mhm.
You just like you really have like built me at least the way I am, and you've taught me to work hard even when it's tough. And I mean, yeah,
Um, you've like helped and like showed me how to like act and who I should hang around with, and how you'd rather like be a leader and less of a follower. I mean, it's not like bad to follow, but like try and be more of the leader and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I think that that's the thing, guys, is that, you moms that are listening to this, I think that it's so different when we tell our kids one thing, do as I say, not as I do, right? and we say you should do this. We say, go after your dreams. We say, get a college education, and we say, choose good people who are going to treat you well, right? And then we go and we don't get a college education, or we don't choose good people, and we get people don't treat us well, or we don't follow our dreams and we get stuck in a job that we hate. We complain about it all the time. Like, it's not fair to say one thing to our kids and then do another. And I think that that's one of the things that I want all of us to recognize, is that if you want your kids, if you want your sons and daughters to take the time and take care of themselves, if you want them to go after their dreams, if you want them to know that anything's possible, you have to show them to go after their dreams. You have to show them that anything's possible. You have to show them hard work. You have to show them perseverance and not giving up. You have to show them risk taking and resilience. And what do you do when things don't go well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much better, isn't it, guys, when you learn from watching us? What kind of things have you learned by just watching Dad and I that we haven't already talked about?
Never mind.
Let's see. I mean, you've taught us to definitely take risks. I mean, we have 2 investment houses, and I mean, you didn't know what was going to happen, and you've definitely shown to take risks and trust the process. I mean, you definitely showed us a little patience, like the house and whatnot. Consistently going over and working on it, and not seeing a lot of process sometimes, and just like trust the process, but also be patient with it.
Yeah, like be consistent, but like I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. And that was one of the things that your dad and I talked about, is that, of course we wanted this summer to be more fun and to go on a bunch of vacations, to hang out in our pool, but we had to work on the investment property, didn't we? But we got to teach you what it's like to take a risk. We got to teach you what it's like to work hard and to deal with things that don't always go our way, and to keep pressing on even when we're tired, or those types of things. And so I know that we built within you guys resilience, and I know that we built within you these beautiful lessons that we had to show you. We couldn't just tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you guys as parents, I just want us to remember that if you want something amazing for your kids, I want you to ask yourself, are you doing it first? Are you showing them first? I wanted to kind of bring this back to oftentimes people don't realize that when you go to something like the skincare that I was mentioning, or even the Greece retreat, it becomes an investment, because God knows what you need even before you do. And he's saying, I want you to invest in your time. I want you to invest in your money. I want you to trust me and let me transform you in the way that I know this can. And so when we think about that, we're like, I'm not stealing money away from, the kids, or stealing time away from their kids. I'm actually investing in the things that are going to make me be able to deliver what I want to even more for them. I'm creating a legacy because I'm investing the time and money into things for them. I'm creating a more present mom. I'm home with you guys more than I've ever been. When I'm home, I'm home. And when I am home, like, you get my attention, right? I'm not so scattered. And so it's like, when we think about this, it's not an expense. I'm not taking away something. I'm actually giving something back. I'm investing in me. I'm investing in the lessons. I'm investing in our future. And so I just want you guys all to know that God is going to continue to give you the guidance if you look for it. He's going to continue to give you the breadcrumbs. And if he's placed on your heart a desire, he knows the benefit of that before you do. And so you stepping into it, by you acknowledging that you're worth it, by acknowledging that you are worth the time, you are worth the money, and that the risks and the taking away from the people that you care about, you're actually pouring into them by doing the things that you're afraid to do. Do you guys have anything else to add before we wrap up this conversation? You did such a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
think I have
This
anything.
is their podcast debut, everybody. So make sure that you leave a review. Comment in the stories. I will make sure to share with you too everything that you have to say. And I'm just so proud of you so much. You guys, you're the loves of my life. You are miracles. We prayed so hard for you. And I just am just grateful that I get to see the beautiful young woman and young man that you guys are growing up to be. And I want to thank you for inspiring me and all the people who are listening. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, you two. All right,
Bye.
everybody. So I am going to just remind all of you that this is your heart to heart talk from me to you. That I'm going to ask you, what are you afraid of? What is your fear? And then I want you to ask yourself, is that fear true? Because in your spirit, you know. In your spirit, you know. And I don't care if it's, like I said, a box of skincare or if it's traveling around the world with me. I want you to recognize that if this is something that's been placed on your heart, that God knows the transformation that can happen. He knows what you're going to gain is more than what you're willing to give up here. And I just want to say that I'm here with you, that you are worthy, you are loved, you are capable, you are safe. And I cannot wait to see what happens on the other side of you saying yes. The moment that you start to recognize that you're worthy, the moment that you start to recognize that you are whole and that everything that you need is already within you, everything is going to shift. But sometimes it's just saying yes, the first thing, in order to make that happen. All right. If you guys are curious about the retreat, we actually have one spot left. And that is going to be closing up here very, very soon. We just got our excursion. I rented a yacht that's going to take us around the different Greek islands. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for the synergy that's going to happen with the women that are joining us for that. We're taking a day extra on this front end and on the back end to explore Athens a little bit. And of course, I'm going to miss my family. Of course, I wish that I could explore that with them, but I will someday. And that's just it. It's like I get to do this right now. And I hope that you guys get to start to see what's possible by just starting to say yes and recognizing that you are worth the time and the money. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for letting me celebrate my 100th episode with my kiddos. And I'm just really grateful for you too. All right, bye, everybody. So much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Each honest review helps me spiral up so that I can serve you even better. Whether you're feeling a lack of impact, income, or time freedom, or perhaps you're just ready for massive momentum in your business, let's chat. Apply for a breakthrough call so that you can gain clarity, identify what's holding you back, and make a plan to spiral up. Head on over to im-lifebydesign.com/breakthrough or access the link in the show notes. For immediate support, log into our community, the Better Club. We focus on inspiration, tactical guidance, and support. This is a community that wants to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business, and we're going to help you do the same. Let's spiral up, friends.